Hi everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Accords Library situation. The Accords Library is a website that's dedicated to collecting the works of Yoko Taro. Now, for those of you who don't know, Yoko Taro is the game director and a theme writer behind the Dragon Guard series and Nier. And those are two fairly well-known franchises. He's also done a bunch of other works and stuff like that. And the thing is with this website and why it needs to exist is because this man releases a bunch of stuff alongside of his games. We are talking anywhere from novels, books, CD novels, and like audio plays and stuff like that. All of that to complement the games he is releasing. These are very rare nowadays, as some of them can date back to 2003, and a lot of them were only in Japanese and only sold within Japan. And of course, with things like the second-hand market being suboptimal in the sense that if something is rare and people know it is rare, the price just skyrockets. It is almost impossible to get your hands on these, merch and this extra lore for those games, which is a bit of a shame, as Yoko Taro does have some of the best storytelling in any game I have played. I do have to cover Nier sometime soon. However, that being said, the reason why we're covering the Accords Library today is that Square has given them a cease and desist. Essentially, they've asked them to shut down the website. Or rather, as they said on the Discord, you can keep the website running longer. They just need to be able to make sure and ensure themselves that their users don't download and sell the materials that they provide on the website, which includes full translations of the works of Yoko Taro, along with the ability to read them yourself for free. Of course, that is an unreasonable request to try to fulfill, as it goes without saying that the Accords Library or the team behind that cannot be responsible for the people who use the website. As an example, I might only use it to check out the latest Yoko Taro work or like read up on some lore about Nier, but there are definitely people who use it to print that material out and just sell it, which is very unfortunate because this is an incredibly cool website. Not just in how it looks or what it provides, but just in the general idea of it. This website aims to preserve the works of Yoko Taro far beyond what Square Enix is currently doing, where they have stopped providing them, stopped printing them, and don't really provide a substitute way to get them without going to the second-hand market, which is either incredibly sketchy, oftentimes incredibly hard to find the items that you're looking for. On top of it, if you finally find them because they are rare, these sort of lore pieces and merch to those games will be incredibly pricey. Of course, legally, Square Enix can do this without any problems. However, I think there's a case to be made that it is still a shitty thing to do, simply because a lot of these people are doing this extra work for free, providing full translations, providing a resource for you to actually review this work that just isn't being used anywhere anymore. And I think it's a shame to take that away, because this is, at the end of the day, a free resource for people to use. And since it isn't really causing any harm, or meaning that Square Enix won't be selling copies of these items, I think it's a shame to see it go. Square Enix already don't really sell anything that has to do with, the Accords Library or that sort of stuff. The only thing that they really provide is the games, especially here in the West, which is a huge shame, as I think there's a lot of really cool stuff in there. I don't see why fan translations and preserving the history of Yoko Taro shouldn't be a thing that the fans can do, because essentially this guy does release a bunch of extra lore stuff for the game. And while, of course, like I have said, it is completely fair that they don't want to take the risk on this, I also just see it as being a bit of a shame that this website is being shut down because of, quite frankly, an ancient law in terms of cease and desisting. I feel like in cases like this, there should be some sort of loophole that they could go through, in my opinion. in an ideal world. Of course, we don't live in that ideal world yet. I hope that eventually courts and whatnot will catch up with that. I also think that the courts library is just a really, really cool tool to use for law reasons, for Nier and stuff like that. And I think it's a shame that we'll never see it reach that widespread attention that I honestly think it deserves. It's not like this practice is uncommon where you take some really cool fan projects and you shut them down. Nintendo does it all of the time, both with Smash Bros, but also with Super Mario and Pokemon, where these really cool ideas and fan creations, quite frankly, that exist for free, gets taken down or cease and desisted because, well, they are using an already existing property. I do think this is, in my opinion, not the right path to be taking, and I hope eventually that the rules around that will change. Because quite frankly, these fan projects are what keeps games alive. If there wasn't a fan base talking about it, doing stuff with it, games like Dark Souls wouldn't exist still. They wouldn't be as publicly talked about as they are, because they are still relevant, and same thing goes for other older games. Games exist through the eyes of the people who play them. And the same thing goes for the lore, right? Like, lore is some of the things that can keep people engaged far beyond a game's lifespan. And to see a lot of the resources to talk about the actual lore there is to this game, or these games, being shut down for no other reason than it can possibly be resold if you download it down and then print it or whatever, is such a shame in my opinion. I really don't like to see things go like that. I think that's an awful shame. And that is mainly because these are just free resources for people to use. There's nobody that is sort of making money out of this in any real way, unless it's people downloading and redistributing the things that are stored on the Accords library for monetary gain, in which case they will be making money off of it, off of being really scummy. But I don't think that responsibility of making sure that doesn't happen to fall on the free participants that does all of this work for free, that will essentially has gathered all of the data and stuff for the Accords library. I think it's just a really, really fucked up situation, honestly. And however, since you can technically get them secondhand, the work isn't lost media yet. However, it could very well end up being that. And I personally think that would be a huge shame, as the sheer amount of data on a website like Accords library is astonishing. We are talking, I just looked through the gallery where there's over 100 pages of different pictures and stuff for those games. It would be a shame to see that being lost to time just because of a cease and desist, in my opinion. However, I do understand and absolutely support the Accords library's decision in shutting down, because of course you can't host something already being sued for it. That is just completely understandable in my opinion. And while I have seen some people react badly to that, I feel like I don't know. I wouldn't say that's unreasonable at all. That's fairly understandable. These are just private people. It's not like the Accords library is a big corporation. And same thing goes with the people who are like trying to get in touch with Square. I don't think that's the right approach either. I think the right approach is just spreading awareness about it so people know that it's a thing that existed at one point, and unfortunately it ended. And it is a bit of a shame because this website does, just from a purely website standpoint, look really cool. I love what they've done visually here. But I also have to admit, I find the works of Yoko Taro, specifically that of Nier, to be super close to me. And it's Nier Automata especially is a game that I really love and that I've played a long time ago, that I'll be revisiting soon enough. And that is just about it. I just sort of wanted to talk about it for a little bit and just sort of, well, spread a bit of awareness, I suppose. I do really think it's a shame to see this website go. However, as I said, it's fully understandable. With that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.